Where do I even begin? Okay, my name is Nhlanhla Mngadi, originally from KZN in Newcastle. I was born and raised in Mngadi in Section 2. I'm the firstborn at home. I have a few siblings from my mom and my dad's side. So, yeah, I grew up in Newcastle. I grew up being the only grandchild, Ekaya. And I think that's where the love of cooking came from because I grew up and firstly, I think I've told this story several times that I hated going to church. But now, funny enough, I'm a church boy through and through. I hated going to church. I always had to ask my grandmother to stay behind so that I can start cooking. And that has stirred something in my heart because every time on Sunday, immediately when the family goes to church, I mean, I would stay behind and cook for the entire family. I was 10 years old at that time back at home. So that's where the love of cooking started from. Back ekhaya eMatadeni, a section 2 in front of Enyonini. There's a big church called Enyonini. That's where I originally came from. So, funny story. I never ever in my wildest dream thought I would be able to do cooking full time. So I started accounting back in school, university, and that was the only thing that I started. I studied. I didn't do anything that has to do with culinary because I never thought I could use that as a career. I could do that as a career, or I can do that for having like my sort of living. I didn't. So I studied accounting in school in Nakhona. I was doing accounting from grade 10 until grade 12. So in my wildest dreams, I did not even think that I'll be doing cooking. And when I came to Pretoria, a lot of friends of mine, because a lot of people enjoyed my cooking. My friend's business stock fell actually with my friends. Most of them would have stock fell every Sunday. And obviously, what do you expect? I'm the one who's busy cooking. I'm the one who's always cooking. Every time, even when we rotate, I would always cook. So that is when I decided, and a lot of people would tell me, would say, no, you can actually do this professionally. I was like, no, I did. And funny enough, for years, for over 15 years, I was working and I was working in different companies. I think I changed companies 3 times. And the last one was, okay, I can't mention it because it's a laboratory. So that's when I was working and then recently just resigned 3 years back. Yeah, 3 years back, I just resigned to do this full time. So, yeah, in my wildest dream, I never even thought that I would be doing this full time. Funny story. Okay, I don't know why I'm starting my sentences with funny stories, but my stories are very funny actually, if you really think about it. Back in 2013, that's when I registered the company. That's when I started to, because somebody also advised me, good, okay, Nhlanhla, you need to register, you need to make sure that you are a legit company, catering company, and all of those things. So I registered Namingnaz because I mean, like, it's the right thing to do. That was back in 2013. Never really worked. Maybe I would work once a month or once in 3 months. And my business only started kicking off during COVID. And I will always tell this story because COVID, for me, when people were going through the most, I was just thriving and flourishing because there was one lady who called me and she was like, what, all the restaurants are closed and we don't even know and we are tired of cooking for ourselves. So please come through. We're going to get you permit. Come through and cook for us. And what that lady did for me, it was incredible because after that, immediately when I started cooking for her, she started posting me. Back then, I didn't even have a proper phone. So she started posting me on social media and tagging me in one beautiful, what's this, quality phone. She started tagging me and a lot of people started asking, who is this guy? Can we have him? And I started working from that time when the whole country was shut down in April. I started working. I started sneaking around houses. I started getting permits to go to different houses each and every Sunday so that I can be able to cook for different people. And that's when my business really, really took off. I had to start all over. I had to start because I mean, 2013 to 2020, your business is closed, your company is closed, nobody cares. So I had to start all over back in 2020, and that's when my business really, really took off, and I never looked back. All right. Now I'm studying at Cape Town. Yes, Cape Town in Menlyn. We're only starting and resuming classes now in July. So because I don't want to be just your normal cook. I want to earn the title as much as, sorry for me to say this, but you don't need a lot of education when it comes to cooking or whatever, but the skill and the sharpening of the skill, that is exactly what I want to do. That I'm starting now in July. I'm going to be full-time there because I also want to take my business and my company to another level. So it's no longer going to be just Nhlanhla Phegayo, but it's going to be Chef Nhlanhla. Chef Nu, if you want to call me. So, another funny story again. Another funny story. I was busy roaming around. What's this? Instagram, and some funny guy who's very short inboxed me and told me that if I would be interested in having a cooking class. In my wildest dream, I never even thought I would be able to do a cooking class. Well, this was our first time and it turned out to be beautiful. But so he inboxed me, this short guy on Instagram. He inboxed me and is like, hey, Nhlanhla, hey, would you mind doing cooking classes and all of this? I'm like, okay, who are you? I had immediately I went and I checked everything, and I thought maybe this guy's just playing with me, but shame. It turned out when I first received the email, I was like, oh, this is legit. I can work with this. So I had to go through everything, and then we had to meet for the first time with the rest of the team, and the rest is history. Here we are now, partnering with Cookout, and it's just amazing. It's just the beginning of great things. All right. The planning was very, very tricky and very shaky, and and I think I told one of the people that I work with also, Guti, I'm no longer used to having formal meetings. I'm no longer used to be called and send a message. Guti, hey, can we please have a meeting at 7 o'clock? There's something that we need some briefing. I'm not used to that because I'm no longer on 9 to 5. So when somebody calls me and say they have a meeting, it's like, okay, what is happening? Am I back to 9 to 5? But the meetings were great. We planned for months and months. I think we started speaking, it was back in, if I'm not mistaken, back in May when we started talking. But we've been planning months and months and months. And I'm so glad that in my mind, this is not what I expected. But I think that looking at people and seeing how people were vibing, most of the things I didn't even had to teach them because they were just having so much fun and they were enjoying the food. It was the most simplest menu ever that we taught today, but people were just having fun and they were enjoying themselves, and the turnout was so good. Our first one, we sold out, guys. Our very first one, and we sold out. It was so beautiful to see a lot of people, faces that are familiar and faces that are not even familiar, that I've never even seen, but people were just interacting. It was great. It was amazing. It was a great success. From my side, it was definitely a great success. Oh my goodness, it goes without saying. It goes without saying. I cannot wait for the second one. I think also me personally, I also learned a lot of things that I want to make sure that on the second one, I implement those things that I've learned tonight. And I want to make sure that everything goes well, man. I want to make sure that we have enough of this and that. So I want to really make sure. But Nje, definitely, the second one has to be amazing. The second one has to happen, and it has to happen very soon.